Former astronaut and cabinet minister Marc Garneau has passed away at the age of 76. A statement from his wife, Pam Garneau, says that he passed away peacefully after a short illness surrounded by his family. The statement says, quote, Marc faced his final days with the same strength, clarity, and grace that defined his life. Mr. Garneau was an author and a pioneer in Canada's space program, serving as president of the Canadian Space Agency before serving as a Liberal member of Parliament between 2008 and 2023. Here's a look back at his time as an astronaut, showing his love for Canada.
Marc, you're rather busy up there, 8 hours a day. You're spent conducting experiments, and another 8 hours, if you're lucky, you're sleeping. Are you getting much time just to gaze out the window and wonder at the splendor of it all?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting all the time I can. In fact, every time we go over Canada, I'm generally stuck at the window having a look out there. I haven't been able to see it all because of some cloud, but certainly I'm getting my share of the time at the window, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I sat down earlier with former MP Kevin Vuong to discuss Mr. Garneau's passing.
Kevin, thank you so much for the time today.
My pleasure.
Now, what was your relationship like with Mr. Garneau while you were both members of Parliament?
So I was very lucky. My first office at Parliament Hill was in the Confederation building, and it was right beside Marc's office. And so it was one of the first early days when I'm still like a rookie MP up on the Hill, and I'm walking, I think I was going to the washroom on the way back. I bump into a man who I had learned about, had read about, and who greatly admired. And he was right then and there in the flesh. And he was really gracious in taking the time to meet with me, to share his experience as a member of Parliament, pass on words of wisdom to someone who was clearly very awestruck. And, you know, he was a naval captain. And as a Lieutenant Navy, as a Naval Reserve officer, you know, I like to think there were a lot of parallels there, and the fact that he took the time to speak with me, to share what he knew, both as a parliamentarian, but also in his experience in the Navy was phenomenal.
And what do you think you'll remember the most about him?
I think that for me, I'm lucky enough to have had that personal interaction. So I just remember how kind he was. I mean, this was an individual who was not only Canada's first astronaut, which a lot of people will know, but was also a cabinet minister who had served this country in and out of uniform, in and out of office. He was president of the Canadian Space Agency. I think Canada's most famous astronaut is Commander Chris Hadfield, because he was the first Canadian commander of the International Space Station. But the person who was Chris Hadfield's role model, his inspiration, was Marc Garneau. Marc helped to really open the doors in the imagination of Canadians, not just at sea, on the land, but also in the skies and in space.
And what do you think Mr. Garneau should be best remembered for? And what is the legacy that he's leaving behind?
You know, that's a really hard question to answer, because this is an individual who has contributed so much to this country. All of the different domains across all of the different files that he held as a cabinet minister. For me, I think it was he, for me, encapsulates kind of like what is possible if someone is willing to work hard and is dedicated to this country, all of the different ways that you can serve in and out of uniform.
Thank you so much for the time today.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to pay tribute to what was an incredible and frankly, a heroic Canadian.